We're on the Big Calf Show Network
All
today.
right, man. Yeah, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. So, what's going on, people? It's your boy Big Cav, and we are on the Big Cav Show today. And I'm here with my brother, Mr. Victor Vincent. Man, he is the owner, CEO, creator of Accountable Masculinity. Go ahead, show him the book. I know you got it right
Oh yeah, yeah.
there. Yeah. So, we're just here going to talk about the events of today and some unfortunate events. Definitely, we all saw. If you haven't seen it already, I'm pretty sure you could easily find it. The clip of Charlie Kirk being, I guess, some people could say, unalived, and some people are taking it almost to a political standpoint, saying assassinated. I don't know which way you want to put it, but they are reporting that there was a person of interest, not a suspect. And I'm going to ask you something, Vic, because when it comes to that, I don't know exactly what the difference between the two are. But they say it's a person of interest that took a shot from a two-story building 200 yards away. Can you break down, maybe, Vic, possibly because you may be a little bit more or a lot more experienced in that type of lingo? What is the difference between a person of interest and an actual suspect?
A suspect has been formally charged.
Okay, so a suspect actually has been formally charged, and
A person
okay,
of interest, they still being interviewed to see, if they're someone that they can charge.
right, right. Okay, all right, I got you. So, person of interest is, I guess, a person that they possibly have in their crosshairs, saying that this is probably the person that did it. So, we're going to go ahead and question them and everything, and try to figure out what the heck's going on. Am I correct in saying that, or assuming that?
Potentially, not necessarily even being the person that might have pulled the trigger. They
Right.
may have been someone that assisted in the trigger being pulled. Like, for instance, in a situation like this,
Mm-hmm.
I expect them to interview the person that asked the question,
Mm-hmm.
because that would be a prompt.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
You, like this this thing, this attack on Charlie was there was a level of planning, a lot of skill, some reconnaissance, based on all the details provided about, like from where the shot was taken from. Somebody with a level of expertise in weapons, that knew the territory very well. They scouted the place very well.
Mm-hmm.
So is you can't dismiss anything right now. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
no detective or nothing like that, but this is how I would run it down and try to backtrack it if I was, like in the mix like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's the relation to the what's the is there a connection between the person that asked the question right before the shot was fired? Could the question have been the trigger? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you heard what I heard. You know what I'm saying? The last word that Charlie actually said was violence. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And they were talking about gun violence, but right before he got shot. So here's my thing. And before we continue, all the people who are chiming in, I definitely appreciate you chiming in tonight. We're definitely wanting you guys to engage in the comments if you have any questions that you want to ask, or if I say something that may be a little off. Hey, I want you guys to say, hey, Kev, you're a little off about that. Hey, I learned about this information while you guys were on, and this is what they're releasing right now. But I mean, at the end of the day, when he got hit and that happened, we all saw the video. A lot of us immediately knew he was gone just by what we
Yeah,
saw.
man. Look, when like all of us that have seen the raw footage of it,
Mm-hmm.
when when I looked at that, I thought of a couple of different ways. I was like, it could either be a lucky shot or a
Mm,
very accurate shot.
right,
And it could have been lucky if somebody was like close and they
right,
just wanted to hit him. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But at distance, to hit that man in his carotid artery
Mm,
at that distance, it
200
tells
yards.
it tells me it could have hit him in the head. He could have hit him in shooter had his pick. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Let's look at it like, um the shooter wanted us to see him uh take his last breath the way he did. He wanted to preserve his face so you recognize him. He wanted him.
Damn.
I'm telling you, like there's some guys in some small communities out there of trigger pullers
Mm-hmm.
that know where to put around it. You know what I'm saying? And not trying to, you know, be insensitive about it, but
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about the psychology of what just happened today. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Somebody was sending a message because, like, here's the thing: they tried Trump earlier this year.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
The number one question I want to know is who benefits from Charlie Kirk being, you know,
Assassinated. Right.
being assassinated, being taken out on camera like that in front of
Mm-hmm.
all those college students,
5,000.
on TV, well, being broadcast in some form of media, shape, or form. He got his own audience.
Right.
Um, Kev Nichols talking about the Trump was state. We don't
Okay. We all right. We'll address some of this.
yeah, but right now we talk about, let's have an intelligent discussion about who benefits from today. You know, like
Okay.
why would they do it? Why Charlie Kirk is not a political. He doesn't hold any type of office.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an elected official. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we know he's aligned with Trump.
Absolutely, man. I mean, when you look at the organization that he's a part of, and how big, that organization is, you know what I'm saying? We have to honestly look and say that he had a lot to do with Donald Trump getting elected. He had so much to do with the young white vote. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm talking about organization, I'm talking about Turning Point. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's a huge organization that he's big in. So at the end of the day, like, and like I said, I do want to get some of these comments right here because I want these people to engage right here. So Jolene Craig said that no justification for what happened to Mr. Kirk today. Absolutely, I will agree with that. Though there are things that Kirk said that did not align with everything that we believe and we think. There's no justification for someone dying like that, or dying, period, for just some beliefs that he had. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that one completely. Courtney Webb said, we don't want to watch anyone else die, especially not in front of the kids. But as a mother of a black child, Charlie said too many things that was dead wrong. And see, that's where we go. See, there are things that were said by Charlie Kirk that just did not resonate with people very much. You know what I'm saying? Especially certain statistics that he brought up about the black community, black on black crime. It seems like he kept coming after black people for some odd ass reason, because if he's talking about everything that's wrong with America, black on black crime isn't the biggest issue. And things happening in black neighborhoods aren't the biggest issues. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, why do you continuously talk about that? So I do understand that. Let's see who else we got right here. So we got Kev Nichols. Okay. All right. So that Trump was staged. Okay. All right, man. I mean, I don't. Okay. If you believe it was staged, okay, we'll say that you still believe it was staged, even after we saw today, Kevin. I need you to chime back on that. Even after what we saw today, you still believe that was staged, because there wasn't nothing fake about this man getting hit in the neck and all that blood coming out like that, like we saw. So chime in with me, Kev, when you say that. But Courtney also said a sniper said he hit him in his heart and it came out of his neck. Damn. Now I haven't seen any reports on that. Go ahead and chime in on that, Vic.
We need more forensic data. I mean, like, until somebody actually does an autopsy, nobody's gonna know that just yet, because that type of round that hit him, nah, bro, they hit him in the neck. I watched the video. I saw the wound from the front to the back.
Yeah.
And that was crazy.
That was sick to watch.
And see, so, like, let's go back to who benefits and why.
And Clifford Ramey says, or my boy Hootie says, MAGA benefits. Tell me how MAGA benefits, Vic.
I think, I wrote that Charlie Kirk is the first white martyr I've ever seen for Republican Party. Like, up until the time, Trump being shot, recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never seen a martyr for the conservative right. Now, the Democrats have had multiple, you know what I'm saying? Like it or not, like Martin Luther King, he was a martyr, Malcolm X wasn't a conservative in terms of his politics. he probably preached a conservative message, but the people that vote liberally during that time align themselves with the opposite. Anything that's been pro-black has been considered to be liberal, you know what I'm saying, or of any type. So people are used to seeing Democratic representatives get handled like that. And as a matter of fact, you still got to talk about JFK and you got to talk about RFK, all of the Kennedys, you know what I'm saying? But like we haven't seen anything like this before on the right.
Right. It's always been close, you know, because you had Reagan, he got shot, not killed. Trump got shot, not killed. Right. So it's always been close.
Go to Kenny Hancock. Good look at his comment.
All right. I think he's way down here. So hold on here. Okay, so all right, Kenny. All right, you talking to all right. So Israel benefits because he was against the bombing of Iran. They did it. All right. So and see, this is the thing. Like right now, when you go through the YouTube universe, when you go through the YouTube universe, that word Zionist and Zionism is starting to pop up a whole lot. So it's quite possible. Actually, I have a video that I could present right here and show you guys. Just a second here. All right. Do I have a video? I don't think I have that video up right now, but I'll see if I can find it real quick. But here it is. All right, so we're going to
lawmaker and a man I respect. How many of you guys think when a lawmaker and a man I respect like Ted Cruz uses the Bible to justify aid to Israel, doesn't even know the verse, do you guys think that's like not the best way to approach this? Raise your hand. Okay.
I think Ted Cruz used Genesis 12:3. I think a lot of people see that as off-putting when you look at the New Testament.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people, they look especially at the writings of Paul, where he talks about how the new flesh is not the same as the people in the old covenant. The new flesh is everybody, is everyone's included.
Talking about Romans 9.
Yes. 9:6. Yeah.
Are you Catholic?
Converting to Catholic from Judaism.
This is my next. Oh, from Judaism?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you're you're ethnically Jewish.
Ethnically Jewish, yes.
And you have concerns about AIPAC.
Yes, I do.
I'm told that by some people that if I criticize AIPAC, I'm anti-Semitic.
I think it's ridiculous. Yeah. I feel like it's great to have a concern for your country.
Do you think that that AIPAC represents, again, I'm not saying I believe this, but I think this is what you're saying, that it represents a kind of cutting in line of prioritization away from the American people?
Yes.
Would you guys say that's a fair summary? 100%. Meaning that, like, okay, we vote, we're citizens, but a separate group gets higher priority because of whatever reasons.
So,
man, remember we talked about IPEC, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, a few months ago.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did. And this is not the first time Charlie has expressed those type of feelings towards AIPAC, right? With him and Glenn Beck, you know, when they talked about,
and Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens, I'm surprised she ain't
they all need to get low.
Definitely. I mean, I'm telling you, bro. So David Pinell said, actually, I think the Dems benefit because they're pushing for gun laws, and dude feel everyone has the right to possess guns. Okay.
Well,
you got anything to chime on that?
Well, this is the thing, man. The gun conversation is charades. They've been talking about guns forever. Ain't nobody taking nobody's guns. Ain't nobody regulating that. It's a state issue. The federal government will never get off its butt and try to take every gun from every single person or try
400 million weapons.
Man, look, the Japanese once quoted saying that they would never invade America because behind every American, they said there's as many guns for every blade of grass in America. There's a gun for it.
Yeah.
So they know that. And then the other part is like, it's just not gonna happen. I'm 46 years old, and they've been talking about gun this and gun that. They're not doing that. It's a charade. It's a political charade in that regard. I think it's a conversation that can't really be unpacked, and it leads nowhere. Because if you live in Texas, like I do, nobody's coming down here to take no guns from no Texas, man.
No, it's the same in Virginia. Ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Right. So I got McKinley Forrest here. He said, I don't want anyone dying over their beliefs, but I personally wouldn't make a living out of causing people to feel some type of way about certain issues. I don't think in 2025, mass public has control of emotional reactions. Correct. I am 100% with you on that, McKinley. And what makes that worse is algorithm. I always talk about this with Vic. I always say that the algorithm in social media has definitely worked against us because everyone is able to create their own world. So with the algorithm, right?
People used to blame the government for being the government is being
right.
We're terrorizing each other now.
No doubt.
We are psychologically manipulating each other because we want to. There's people that I talk about having a disciplined versus an undisciplined mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
The disciplined mindset deals with what's in front of them and deals with what it can prove: the who, what, where, when, and why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you want to get creative in thought and try to figure out where do all of these different pieces line up and which rabbit hole does it go down. We still have to look at it. What's most likely, what's least likely, what's probable, and what's possible. Because everything's possible, but not everything is probable. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, I could be. I'm like I said, we almost half 100. You know what I'm saying? In our minds, we could decide today, me and you, Kevin, we say we're gonna be astronauts, right? But we're not gonna pass the physical. We're not gonna get past the math. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what's possible is only in your mind, but what's probable is what you can actually do. But on social media, everybody's famous,
right?
And nobody, and very few people are accurate. And the people that are accurate, they get shunned, and then they say they wait 5 years and come back and tell Kevin, you know what, man, you was right.
You was right. You're right.
Nobody want to listen to those people, man.
Right. Understood. Yeah. Courtney said, Iran got 40 million on Trump's head. Oh, I could believe it.
I can believe that. They could
Yeah.
definitely benefit from it.
I
I would argue also too that you ain't heard nobody say anything about Palestine in a minute.
No, you ain't heard nobody say nothing about Palestine.
I mean, definitely not. Like you can speculate if everything's on the table right now.
Absolutely. Jamal said, is this more important than the school shooting? If so, why? Okay, so there was a school shooting in Colorado. I think 3 kids got hit. I don't think any of them died. That was including the school shoot as well. So yes, that's an important topic. And Jamal, I think what we're going to do with that is we're going to actually have a podcast about that topic overall, because that's a deep topic and the rabbit hole goes deep there. And it definitely does need to be talked about. Anything from gun control to mental health issues to overprescribing psychotropic drugs to kids at a very young age. All those things need to be talked about. So we'll definitely get to that, brother. I mean, good point, though. I understand. I don't want anyone to come on here thinking that we're just overlooking what happened in Colorado today. That definitely happened. We're just happen to be talking about the Charlie Kirk issue today, because if we look at the significance of who Charlie Kirk was and the Turning Point organization and what it did for the Trump administration as far as getting him elected, I think it's a little bit more, talk worthy as of right now, because it's a deep topic. It's definitely not saying that the school shooting isn't a deep topic, because it is, but that could be done a different day. Mike Wright says, I think he had some very valid points and very outlandish points as well. As nobody can get it right, but at least took the time to talk to the public and debate respectively. But he also brought up issues and addressed them head on. Most folks aren't ready to discuss. It's most likely a public execution to distract us from what's coming next. And I hate to find out what's coming next. Okay. All right. So some people are calling this a false flag. What do you think about that, Vic?
I think it is what every person believes it is. Because part of the reason we're in this situation, that this event actually came to be, is because we've been manifesting conflict because we don't want to listen. We don't want to accept that people can only speak on what they can understand. Like if I don't tell you, if I sit you down at the table and you've never seen utensils, you ain't never seen a spoon, and I tell you to eat your food,
right,
and then you look at the spoon, don't even think anything about it, start eating with your hands. And I say, how come you're not using your spoon? And you say, what's a spoon? And then I have to teach you how to use the spoon. So at this stage, whatever people believe something is, just accept them at the level that they understand things. Some people believe in conspiracies, you know what I'm saying, more so than they believe in fact.
Mhm.
Now, that doesn't mean that those people aren't smart.
Mhm.
Those that particular person thinks that way because that's how they learn. You know what I'm saying? Some people learn by using their hands, and some people learn by sitting down taking notes.
Mhm.
So I'm not taking anybody's opinion away from all things are true at this point.
Absolutely. So when it comes to another point that he made, he was talking about the things that Charlie Kirk would actually debate about, and he did have the courage to debate about a lot of different things. Some people agreed with him, some people didn't agree with him. So he did have the courage to debate those things. Anything that he said, do I feel like was worth killing him over? No. Some people said that he leaned more of a white nationalist type person or white supremacy type person. I've heard things come out of his mouth that seem that way. You know what I'm saying? Especially when having discussions about the DEI situations and things like that, and talking about black women's IQ and all kinds of shit. Some of the shit he just said was just reckless. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, dude, like really? Like, but yeah, he had the courage of doing that. He definitely did. What did Jessica say? She said they do, and his meaning was right to protect yourself and to protect, but everyone is twisting his words to make it inflammatory. Okay, I am seeing certain memes put out today regarding his what he said about the Second Amendment and protecting yourself with your guns and things like that. People are kind of twisting those words up and like, aha, gotcha.
It's too many sound bites, Cavi.
Yeah.
Like that's why I say let everybody have whatever they think that happened, right? Like in what we're dealing with is a level of like you go back to the part where you're talking about some of the outlandish stuff that he said, right? That was pretty inflammatory along the lines of what Jessica's talking about. I think we got to be smarter than just talking about racism and white nationalism. Meaning, I think that this is just pattern recognition from where people sit. Like, I think I'm not dismissing the element of ethnic superiority. I am not dismissing it.
Okay.
I even said ethnic superiority because I want people to think and use bigger words when they're talking about this stuff. Okay. And what I mean is that when we play a reductionist game with other people's opinions, we're saying that they're smarter than us.
Okay.
Every time we default to just, oh, it's just racism, or he's just a white nationalist, or he's just this, or he's just that, we are reducing ourselves in the conversation. We're not out thinking what he's saying, what conversation it is. I think personally, I think it's pattern recognition. When we start naming stuff like whether it be race, anything that ends in an ism or ist, misandrist, racist, chauvinist, feminist, feminism, we are looking at a behavior and calling it something.
Right.
Because we recognize the language it uses, the people that support it, and the output and the outcomes from this. We're smarter than this, right? We can look at somebody that we could tell whether or not we're going to feel safe with them or if we want to even find out, right?
Right.
Because it's pattern recognition. We got to start thinking a lot more creatively, or else we fit in the description of what's being discussed, in my opinion, right? So now we can't move past that because now we've got people just looking at Charlie Kirk as a white nationalist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think our issues are much more complex than that, in the grand scheme of things. But if you can't get everybody says they want to move forward, but nobody wants to agree on what's important moving forward.
Right. Absolutely. I see Ron Mack. He left a comment here. He said, I feel this was an inside gig gone tragically wrong. Look at Trump's numbers before today. He was 15% underwater across the board in overall approval on immigration, tariffs, and overall economy. Dude was probably supposed to just wound him, but screwed up. Ooh. What you feel about that, Vic? I mean, that's a hard take. Especially if Charlie knows that this is an inside job, I got to take a shot from a person 200 yards away. Oh, he's a hell of a sniper. I get that, but I got to take a
Mm.
shot 200 yards away. The wind could blow a different, the wrong way. And
Look, man, there's too many unseen hands.
yeah, it's too many
But
unseen hands. I feel you, Rod, but ooh, that's yeah.
it briefs well. It
Right.
looks like it could happen. It looks like it might. I'm not saying that this hasn't happened in other countries either. Okay, I'm not dismissing any of this stuff. Right? There's a book that I want everybody to read and to get time. It's called Economic Hitman.
Oh, that's a great book, bro.
It's a great book. Great book.
Yeah.
There's another book called Agent Storm, and then another book called The 10th Parallel. You read those 3 books, and it'll make a lot more sense out of things. But like in this situation, Charlie Kirk is not an economic influence. He's a social influence. Okay,
He definitely is, which is powerful nowadays.
yeah, which is powerful. Charlie Kirk had the same level of attention amongst a specific demographic of young white men that Joe Rogan has as far as influence on his YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Podcasts are the platforms that reach the masses even more now. So when you got the right guy who has that level of influence, you could basically count all your votes from one person. Like these guys are preachers now. You know what I'm saying? What your pastor used to be in the pulpit, that's what podcasters are now.
Absolutely. And they said, plain as day, when CNN announced, that Trump won, they were talking about Van Jones and all of them were talking about, hey, man, you guys don't realize on the Democrat side that how powerful long form podcasting has gotten. Like, this is the future. Nobody watched legacy TV anymore. Now, I will say, my boy Scott Terry Cavalier did school me. He was like, well, Kev, you still have a demographic of 55 and above that still do watch legacy TV. I just talked to my next door neighbor and she's in her 70s and she says she doesn't know anything about, any of this stuff because she doesn't watch a whole lot of Facebook, YouTube, anything like that. So you still do have that demographic. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But let's see. Apostle Johnson said they did not protect him. And this is why we're talking about the situation right here, is because there had to be some type of intel. I feel like there had to be some type of intel because of how it was angled, where this shot came from. The man was under a damn tent in front of 5,000 people.
Apostle Devin Johnson also says again, he said, no, he was in the military. That was a kill shot. Yeah, that was a kill shot. They knew wherever somebody was camped out in that spot, and they knew where he was going to sit. Nope, whatever place he shot from, that person looked. Man, stuff like this happens from the inside out too. Somebody in Charlie Kirk's circle might have sold him out.
Absolutely, could have happened. And Apostle said the same. He said opinions matter. He said opinions matter if you want to promote them. Now, I will say this right here. That is definitely factual because I've had things that I've said on Facebook where it's been some dangerous situations for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I spoke out against something I thought was right, but the wrong person, the wrong people saw that and they kind of ganged up on me. Was like, yo, we'll come see you. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, got to protect myself. So you are correct. You got an opinion. You got to be able to prepare yourself for what comes with that opinion or the rebuttal to that opinion.
Let me add on to that, right? One of my last book, Accountable Masculinity. Before I decided to publish that book, I wanted to make sure that I avoided emitting some unnecessary level of arrogance about what I understood. So you know what I did before I published that book, bro? My wife made me watch a couple of cult documentaries because I wanted to be careful that I didn't produce the foundational doctrine that could create a cult. Because because you have to believe in what you believe in.
Right.
How you gonna convince somebody else that what you're saying is worth hearing if you don't believe in it? And then okay, let's say, okay, now I got them to believe, right? Now what do I do with this influence? I have to be responsible with this influence. I just can't feed anybody any single thing, right? And this is where the lack of training and creativity. Well, this is where the ego can take you into a whole different realm. You know what I'm saying? if you think that you're superior to the people that you're trying to get the message to,
Right.
they will eviscerate you in public. They will chip away at you. So you have to write it in such a sanitized way where they can hear your message and you don't become the central figure to the message.
Absolutely.
Mess around and try to become God.
Absolutely.
To people. You will get crucified.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Somebody ain't gonna like it.
And when you talk about cult, you know, this is what I say about the left and the right, right? Republicans, Democrats. I'm what they call a fence rider. I'm the independent. I'm the guy in the middle. So I can see clearly what each side is doing. There are cults, dangerous cults on both sides. We call the Democrats the far left. We call the Republicans the far right. Both of them are willing to kill over these insane beliefs because they feel like, bro, they feel like that their party is divine. They feel like that their parties are God sent. That's dangerous to even think about. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is. And I saw where Apostle said, no, it was military. That was definitely a kill shot. No doubt. Definitely a kill shot. No doubt. No doubt. Clark Savage said, have we decided whether or not he is a white nationalist? Well, that's for you to go into the archives of what he was talking about the whole time he was here, and you can dissect that yourself to say whether he was a white nationalist or not.
No, you have to pay attention to who he influences and who is inspired by him.
Right. Definitely. I think Rod. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, and I think Ron Mack said that, you know, he made a statement here that makes sense. That that's what I was thinking when it crossed my mind. Kirk had major influence over 16 to 25 with white male crowds, and with him and him getting hurt would have moved them to act out of either a distraction or to motivate the base. And I think it's exactly what it did, Ron, and that's why I said this helps MAGA more than it helps the Democrats, because it's like Vic said, you made this man into a martyr, is what you just did. And we saw this
official, so it's no impact.
We saw the same thing with Trump before Trump got shot at. He was down in numbers. He was down in the polls, like grossly down in the polls. Then he takes the lick in the ear, and out of nowhere, it's neck and neck. y'all better make sure y'all get out there and vote. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then Apostle Johnson again. Hey, brothers and brothers and sisters who are engaging, I appreciate this. Y'all putting so much up on this that I could barely keep up. You know, you can't do this without intel. That's what I was telling Vic earlier. And Vic definitely, being a military man himself, can tell you there's no way in hell you do this without intel.
You got to have help.
You gotta have help. You had to know where that tent was going to be. You had to know the angle. You had to do all this stuff, man. So that had to be intel. Kevin Nichols, my boy Kev, he said inside man. Definitely. And these are things we could just throw out of the, this is a conspiracy thing. No, this ain't conspiracy that we know. Everybody knows what we just watched.
This happened. Now it ain't conspiracy theory no more. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like everything's on the table. It'll be different. Conspiracy is like, let me make sure I capture what this is. Conspiracy is when we say this could happen today, and if it did, and then we run down a rabbit hole and tell a whole story. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody had, today is September the 10th, right? If somebody had ran into Congress or the FAA office on September the 10th, 2001, and said ground all of the flights, they're going to crash some planes into some buildings, the person that delivered that message would have got zip tied and locked up.
Right. Absolutely.
But on September 11th, when we watched those planes, regardless of the conspiracy of why it happened, you know what I'm saying, around it, and who benefited from it, we know it was an inside job. We know it had a whole lot of other hands involved. But when those planes crashed into the building, everybody stopped and did like this right here. It's like, I know I'm not seeing what I think
I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. Right. Yeah.
And not to mention, we acted like it couldn't happen. Like the World Trade Center hadn't been targeted before then because they blew up a bomb in it in 93.
Yeah. At the bottom of it, 93. Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. So yeah. Dion Knight said, how many campuses has he done this at and why today? Well,
all of them. He's been to all of them. He's been there everywhere.
He was coming to Virginia Tech. He assumed, so
Charlie Kirk was in the trenches. He was at every college giving out that work.
What did you tell me earlier, Vic? You said he was in the lion's den every week, bro. Every week. So this was a chance that this is something that could have happened earlier, Dion. It just happened to happen today because it was just a perfect scenario for that intel that gave that information and said, you know what? This is the perfect spot to really take him out right now. If we want to go ahead and take him out, you know what I'm saying? So Clark Savage said, kill shot, center mass, Roger Murtaugh. Murtaugh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got you. All right. And the fact that he was talking about mass murder before he got killed, you know, a person brought up a great point on Facebook earlier when I made a post of mine. They said, yo, the last word he said was violence. That was the last word he said. He says the word violence, and then you hear the click.
That's why I said the person that was asking whatever question before that is likely the person of interest.
Oh shit! Now you getting into something.
I'm just saying, because like they watch stuff too, man. The CIA is an invisible hand too. It's the most known invisible hand, right? We're not hiding anything when we talk about these things, bro. So that like you don't know anything about where the shot came from, so you gotta check everything. So like a person interested means they don't have a suspect. If they had a suspect, they wouldn't be talking about a person of interest.
Right.
So they got nothing.
Right. And going, yeah, you're right. And Rob Mackey says, Jessica Lynn Fraser, I believe you. I guess I'm hopeful in my thoughts that man wasn't just sacrificed. That man wasn't just sacrificed. His family thrown into hurt and chaos because of what's going on. That's a reality, bro. Like I said, when I say that you really have two sets of cults, it's not just one. It's not the crazies on the left and the crazies on the right. You literally got crazies on the left, crazies on the right. They're not, and it's on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And we really do have to calm down the rhetoric in our political discourse because we're in a dangerous situation right now. America
can't please everybody, and all you people that want to go out of your way to I don't know, manifest a level of disdain for a human being to the point where you celebrate this. I hadn't seen people celebrate a man's death like this since Kevin Samuels.
Right? Them women with Kevin Samuels, right?
It's weird Absolutely. To me. Like when I don't like something, I don't pay it any attention.
Right.
I just don't like when I don't like I don't like peanut butter. So you know what I don't do? I don't eat it. I don't go on the aisle and hate on it. I'm nowhere near it. I don't like peanut butter. I don't care about peanut butter.
Absolutely.
But people claim that they don't like somebody and pay them attention. I don't understand that.
It makes no sense. It's almost like you get driven by somebody pissing you off.
That's why I said y'all mentally ill.
Right.
Like you can't. That's like me. You know how I am about my content. I'm not following those guys to see what they doing because I don't like them. I don't get down with them. It had to be somebody saying, Vic, well, what do you think about this? Somebody have to bring it to my attention because I don't follow people that I don't like.
Right. Understood.
That's a mental illness to me.
Hey, Jamal Purdue said this makes every activist and politician unsafe out here.
Get down, Candace.
Get down, Candace Owens. Get down, Officer Tatum.
Who else need to get that? Oh, Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit.
Anybody that right now is in the spotlight. Anybody that's in the spotlight.
Anybody that go to these college campuses, you better get down. If you've been to any one of them, get down.
Yeah, William J. Moore said because it was a warning shot. That was a statement. These politicians are going to think twice about these crazy out-of-pocket statements and specific demographics of people of certain class or crowd. He was in Utah and he was too comfortable because the Trump camp thinks they're untouchable, especially amongst their own kind. Very true.
And
very
Utah
true.
State now too. So and they've been going to college campuses because that's what most people have been radicalized at. You know what I'm saying? It's what's taking place.
Yeah, but like you said, they go into the lines deal. You're putting yourself in a really bad situation, you know, especially if you don't have the right security that thinks about somebody shooting you 200 yards away in a 2-story building.
Man.
At this point, I don't think his security even thought that was a possibility. And that's possibly why.
They didn't have no reason. There was no pattern of threat. Well,
Right.
that we know of. We had talked to them. They probably get threats all the time, though.
Absolutely. You know, let's see here. Robert Arevalo. I can't pronounce that last name. I'm sorry about that, brother. But hate breeds Arvelo. Okay, gotcha. Hate breeds hate, my brothers. Look at our street gangs and racial cliques. Yeah, you are correct. Hate does. And that's what I said. When it comes to politics and it comes to these cliques that are being made, the far left, the far right, somebody has to be the bigger person. I don't know if it's going to be Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if it's going to be Bernie Sanders. I don't know if it's going to be Donald Trump. I don't know if it's going to be JD Vance. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody has to be the bigger person and say, hey, let's get on the hill. Let's talk about this. We have to chill the fuck out, because as of right now, as of today, what happened to Charlie Kirk, we are all in danger. Everybody that sits on that hill is in danger. Everybody. We have to understand that. It's not one person in office right now that's not in danger. Everybody's in danger. So we've made a very hostile environment for politicians. We made a hostile environment for activists. We made a hostile environment now for long form podcasters, which is crazy.
Man, but before you go, because like Robert Arvalo, I hope I'm saying his name the right way too.
Let's bring him back up. We'll bring him back up.
Yeah, he says you can't, he said, say that again, you can't please everybody. Social media is the death of us all. Back in the day, you say the wrong thing and you got hurt for it. Now it's just flat out unaliving someone. So I wanted to speak on this right here. I don't know if you've been tracking what's going on in Nepal.
Yeah, I've seen that.
There's been an entire uprising because the state government has restricted social media, and the citizens have lost their minds. You know what I'm saying? They've started overturning things. They didn't went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Rightfully so. Now it sounds rightfully so to us, but that may not be the way that their government runs. Because what we don't understand over here in the first world, excuse me, what we don't understand in the first world, the things that we believe are God-given rights, are state-given entitlements. You know what I'm saying, in other parts of the world. What we might have a disagreement about, somebody having a gender identity crisis in the United States and the Western world, it starts a revolution somewhere else. Because what people have, if they can't physically travel to another part of the world to get another perspective, social media gave them a window to see that other parts of the world are not moving the way that their world is. So they got something to compare it to. And what that means to someone that's in a third world country with limited resources and whatever else, we can't even understand that. Right. We can't even understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like we over here complaining that social media need to go away. Right. When we lying, because we know this is where we communicate with each other at. You can't have it both ways. But when you try to take it away, you know how blind to what happened today we would be if we didn't have social media? So what needs to happen is we need to be careful about how we use it. I treat social media and any media the same way that people talk about gun control. I think we need social media literacy more than we need gun control.
It's in schools now. They actually put that in high schools now.
Because it tells you how this person thinks. If I looked at your search history, your search history on your YouTube or your Google or your Facebook and just looked at what's in your timeline, I could tell you what kind of person you are. I can tell the person 10 that you're not. Right. Because everybody's got to put on a face, you know what I'm saying? In general, very few people are being as authentic on their timeline as they are in person. Right. So
absolutely. What's Christmas Dominic say? He said anyone that has a strong opinion that folks disagree with, get down.
Facts.
Facts.
I might have to get
Facts. So it does change. It changes everything It really changes everything. And even for content creators like ourselves, yeah. I mean, you have to be careful on what you're saying. You definitely have to be careful on what you're saying, because you may offend the wrong person that's in your locale, and you may step out your front door and you gone. You up off of here. You know what I'm saying? Just by having a disagreement with someone, or someone not believing what you believe in. I saw a couple of posts today from a gentleman that made a post, and I was just looking at the comments, and I was like, yo, it's dangerous comments. Like, people want to come after you for your opinion. When the hell did we get to this point in life to where we couldn't have an opinion without the threat of death? That's wild to me.
It just tell you how they raised, bro. Everything that's happening and what people react to just tells you how they was raised.
Okay.
And we can go down 1,000 different rabbit holes, but they was raised by a household that didn't practice healthy communication, a lack of, they practice not having any empathy. And because not only that, a lot of the people that got the opinions that they have for this situation, they wouldn't allow their children to express themselves that same way.
Right. Absolutely.
So we got to be careful about the spells that we cast on ourselves with the language we use and what we choose to react to, just because it's popular to react to.
Absolutely.
Like, I ain't no Charlie Kirk fan. I don't hate them. I didn't hate the man.
No,
I didn't have enough investment in what he was talking about to be vehemently opposed to anything that he said. Right. I believe he brought up talking points that we should have. That's the thing. The stuff that we be mad about is stuff that we supposed to be talking about anyway.
Right.
And then they mad that somebody else that don't look like them notice the same pattern recognition. And they see a niche and they make a topic out of it and they build a brand off of it, and they don't like the way that the brand been handed off. But you wanted to argue about shoes. You wanted to look at another nigga's shoes, decide if you was going to respect him or disrespect him. And truthfully, in this situation, for Black people, this ain't got nothing to do with us. I say that again, that this don't have nothing to do with us.
hey. absolutely right.
This right here is what Malcolm used to say: the chickens are coming home to roost. No matter how we like it or not, the extremists on both sides of this bipartisan situation, they got to deal with that. And we get to sit back and watch how they diffuse this conflict, that they really care about the safety of the people.
Right.
Because they've gone so far extreme now, they went from Democrats and Republicans to being the Bloods and Crips.
Pretty much.
Look, they blue and red, ain't it?
Yeah. Same thing.
So these are the same folks that started the Civil War.
Let me say let me kind of talk about what Dion is talking about. He said my IG algo has changed drastically in 3 years. No more IG hussies in my algo. So algorithm is something that I like to talk about, because algorithm creates your own world. When you're flipping through that screen, whatever you pay attention to and whatever that algorithm picks up on, it says, okay, they watched more than 30 seconds to a minute of this subject matter. I'm going to keep feeding that to you. I'm gonna keep throwing it at it. I'm gonna keep throwing it at you. And before you know it, you've created your own world. That's the reason why a lot of our kids today are narcissists, because that's what they do. They have this death scroll. That's what they do. And they create their own world. And anytime you go into that word and you say, hey, there's a contradicting part to what you're talking about, then they don't even believe you, because, hey, I flipped through this phone and went through 1,000 videos and everything's agreeing with me. Well, it's supposed to, dumbass, because it's an algorithm. It's feeding advertisement to you. So it wants to make sure that you're engaged with it. Algorithm isn't there to inform you. Algorithm is there to entrap you so they can advertise you. That's the only they can advertise you, just like TV. It's just more dangerous than TV at this point.
It's dangerous to people that don't have any training. Again, you need to treat social media in a conversation as far as like danger or utility from the same type of conversation that you would have about gun control. So swap out gun control and replace it with social media. And it's the same conversation. If you give an untrained fool a tool that doesn't know it's a tool, he'll do something reckless with it. If you give somebody that's got some good sense, some discernment, a tool, they're going to treat it like a tool and connect with other people that's like-minded. You know what I'm saying? An undisciplined mind is reckless. A disciplined mind is a weapon.
Absolutely. Wesley Brown said, go ahead. Amen. So Wesley Brown said opinions have been weaponized. There's no discord amongst opposing viewpoints, and we like to be surrounded by those who we feel like are like-minded. That's why my comment about HBCU, this visit in Utah was to excite a base. No different than the presidency. You go where you want to be challenged. Absolutely. Opinions definitely have been weaponized. And to kind of build on that, Wes, and this may not be where you're going with it, I think Charlie Kirk was going to be, after J.D. Vance, he was going to be the next Republican presidential candidate. I think whoever did this was getting that out of the way, because his brand and his build up and who he was, they might have just said, hey, let's get this shit out of the way.
He was 31. He was as young, American as racism.
Yep.
Baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He was like, we were gonna get 8 years out of JD Vance, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna run. He's gonna get at least 4 years. The Democrats got a whole lot to make up. They don't even have a credible front running person that they can actually get a vote.
Nope.
This is why I've been saying that the Republicans are going to probably be in office for 20 years. It's not because they're going to be great. It's just because the Democrats are not going to even be competitive. Because like, what thing is being socialized now? You know what I'm saying? They're already talking about Vance because he's young.
Right.
So
right. Absolutely.
They had it set up.
And I believe Robert here, he's talking about what I was talking about when it comes to algorithm, total narcissists. They only believe what's thrown at them, straight fucking idiots. Well, okay. Yeah. I will say that when we're talking about the younger generation, maybe not straight fucking niggas, because they like Vic said, they don't know how this whole thing works. They don't have that social media literacy. They don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Now, older people, we should know better. You know what I'm saying? You should have done the research on this and how this whole thing works. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of people that just don't want to do the work. Leandra said, I understand that because his subject matter is polarizing. However, there are individuals who are celebrating his death, and that's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah. That's just like, when Donald Trump got shot at, people were celebrating. Oh man, they didn't finish the job.
They was like, damn, but not thinking about the second and third order effects. See,
right.
The president of the United States is an ambassador on multiple platforms outside of the country. So if your president, if an American president gets assassinated, we look like a laughing stock on the international stage, because we can't criticize nobody else if you can't even protect your own president.
Absolutely. And then Jessica, she's giving a good point here. Stop giving children unfettered access to social media simply because their friends do it. Absolutely. Let me clap that up. Where's the gospel? You ain't got the gospel up here right now.
I got
Amen. Absolutely. I regulate my child, definitely. He doesn't have constant access to his phone, so you definitely do have to regulate that. And then also you have to teach them that, hey, everything that you're seeing come across the screen, it's there for a reason. It's there for advertising purposes. So don't build your own world. When you're looking at something, you're looking at certain subject matter, try to find an opposing view to that and build from that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But let's see. John said, well put, social media is as dangerous as gun control, if not more dangerous. That's why we're in the fucking situation that we're in right now. if not if not more dangerous, bro. It's crazy.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, Robert also said, I always keep an open mind. I like common sense people like you guys. Well, he said like you boys. Okay, I don't find offense by that, but still sharp and still. Thank you for allowing me and my woman to listen in. Hey, man, we appreciate you guys coming in, because this is what it's all about. You know, let's have that dialogue, and even if it's opposing views and you're like, yo, I don't agree with it, come on here and say it. And shit, we're the type of people to say, I'm tired of reading your text. I'm gonna send you a link. Bring your ass on here, get your phone, and let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right. So let's see here. Dion Knight said, I hear from my girl Candace. I need to hear from my girl Candace on. Hey, me and Vic, we talked about that. I'm scared for Candace right now, bro. Real talk. I'm scared for Candace right now because Candace ain't just going to war with Jewish people or Zionism. We'll say Zionism. We're not going to say Jewish people, but Zionism. She's going to war right now with what's my man's name in France?
Macron,
right? Trying to.
She talking about France's president used to be a man, a dude. Yeah, I'm like, yo, you international water. She on a NATO strike, and you know what? She's standing on business about it. I'm like, you know, like at this stage right now, Candace reminds me of. She reminds me of something that I've said to myself at this point. You know, like when people want to disagree with me on a point or whatever, I'm like, hey man, just put some money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just put some money on it. If you believe what you believe, put some money on it.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with what William said here. There's a MAGA wave that's coming. Trump will have his own era. His time as a leader will come to an end, but this will influence. The agenda will continue, and that's bro. And Vic did say that he feels like the Republican Party is going to rule this thing for 20 years straight.
I said it last July. I said if when Biden dropped out late, I said there's no way the Democrats can make up the ground. Number one,
yeah,
and that was before that debate that they had in September.
Mm-hmm.
I said they are cooked for the next 20 years, and then the race was over as soon as it started. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no way. I think the practical side of the conservative American that was created out of the Democratic disillusionment with Biden and everything else, because they made a whole bunch of people vote that never voted.
Right. Shit got that crazy.
Yeah. When Trump got in office, a lot of people stayed home that normally voted, and they were shocked that Trump actually won. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But this time they didn't play around with it. You know what I'm saying? And they were shocked at the outcome, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now they got to figure out where it's going. And then the people are not going to waste their vote. They're going to double down on what they think normal should look like.
Yeah. For people who keep up with politics, I just want to go ahead and throw you some numbers. So as far as like building on what Vic is saying here, I'm going to throw you these numbers right here. So when it came to new registered voters and voters who actually changed their registration to a different party, there are 33 states that keep up with that information. They have a database recording that. The Democrats are currently down 4.2 million votes. That's before Charlie Kirk got hit. So imagine what that's going to look like. They are going to get destroyed in the
middle. Both houses,
bro.
They're going to lose both.
They already got the Republicans already got both houses. So the thing is that they already got the House and the Senate. So the thing is that they're about to lose the midterm.
That's what I'm talking about. The midterm. They're about to get cooked. And we can see it 2 years out. You see what I'm saying? Like, when's the midterm? Is the midterms in what, 26? Yeah, it's over with. Already.
Absolutely. There are going to be local politicians that are going to lose their campaigns because of this action.
Yeah.
He literally went down as a martyr. He really did do that. Rob Mack said that social media is a greater separator of people than it is a uniter. You are correct. It is definitely, this is the most separate we have ever seen people in a long time. Let
me put another spin on that.
Okay.
This is the most honest we've ever been.
Yeah, true.
It's not separated. We are like-minded people have always found a way to connect no matter what. So like I don't I think it's an illusion and it's a utopia to think that we're going to ever be on the same sheet of music all together. And here's why. Individually, by race, we can't even come together. We can't even bring both sides of our families together. We can't even get along with people that live in a different zip code than us. We don't even get along with the people that live next door.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea of coming together is such a, I think that's the biggest psyop ever in America. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't even know what American culture actually is. In America, and I'll tell you what it is. I've been saying it is human trafficking. It's moving people around. It's getting the most with the least out of people.
Right.
It's setting your kids up to be leased by the government, whether it be through child support or the public school system or however you want to look at the school to prison pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are designed institutions that move people around, whether it be abortion clinics or, you know, like whatever. All of these are hot button buzzword topics that are democratic talking points.
Mm-hmm.
It's human trafficking, man. You ever been on a cruise ship? The crew don't get off.
Right. No.
They cook, clean, and play music. That sounds like a slave ship to me.
Dion say either Candace is gonna break it all down, or hide. She is a real journalist, and she will not be shut up. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, so this is the thing, Dion. This is the only thing I think that protects Candace. She's a woman. Nobody is going to watch a woman be assassinated. Ever. That's not gonna happen. You don't think so?
Now, not in the first world. I will give you an example so you can go do some research if you want to. Okay.
All right, break it down.
Pakistan had a female president.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's different.
No,
I know you're talking about. Go ahead, do your thing. Yeah.
Her name was Benazir Bhutto.
Bhutto. Yeah.
They blew her ass up.
They damn sure did. Right.
And they didn't like none of the family. That family was like the Kennedys in Pakistan. You know what I'm saying? And so not only was it offensive that a Bhutto got back in office,
right? A
female Bhutto,
yeah.
They say, we definitely blowing her up.
Right.
Now, so let's not.
You don't think it's a different world though? That's the Middle East compared to speaking to America.
Nope, because when somebody wants you dead, it's patriarchal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's my point. And what I mean is that if you're a threat, it doesn't matter what you look like and who you are or whatever. And we're way past trying to protect women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, however that conversation looks, it's a popular topic.
Yeah.
But
we just talking shit. I think we still protect women.
I'm saying it's a popular topic.
Yeah.
I don't think men are just walking around and just letting women drown. I think men are more focused on the women that they got, and then just being very, very reserved about, you know what, I'm not about to put my wife in a bad situation because I want to go help this woman that ignored all of the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But like, by and large, it is unpopular to not protect your women. So, you know what I'm saying, you're going to in some way, shape, or form. But let's not act like it can't happen, because we've already seen too many things that we said, nah, that would never happen, and it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have something to compare to.
Got you. I got you. I just don't feel like, you know, I don't feel like that's something that they could do in front of the American public. Like, let's say if Candace Owens was Charlie Kirk today, there would be a shitstorm, bro. From a woman getting shot like that. And it don't matter whether black or white, a woman getting shot like that in America.
Well,
fuck no. You better not do that. you better fucking not.
Look, America's okay with women offing women all day.
Yeah.
But it draws the line. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, to give you an example, like what we saw in the Charlotte train, right? The Ukrainian woman got stabbed and killed by that crazy maniac in Charlotte. Look at the reaction from men. Though we've been talking all the shit about women, the men came forward and was like, yo, fuck that dude. He's a damn demon. He's an evil son of a bitch. He's Satan. Why did y'all allow this man to break that many damn laws and be locked up that many times and still allow him to walk the damn earth out here? It didn't make any sense. Men were pissed off at that shit because we watched an innocent female get stabbed up by a motherfucker that wasn't supposed to be walking the streets. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you had men behind her who watched this man do this shit and they didn't do anything about it. But yet you arrest a man that was on a subway in New York that choked out a motherfucking crazy ass bastard. You know what I'm saying? And we looked at him like, oh, you know, well, I'm sorry, the law looked at him like, oh, you was in the wrong for doing that. And that's possible why those men didn't act like or act on it, because they saw him get convicted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I told you before, Vic, sometimes our laws protect criminals.
Oh, all day, man. Like, you know, we got to be careful about how we grade what we do outside the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? When we had to be in person. Like in the algorithm on social media, you know, people are very quick to say, oh, well, you know, and when it comes down to like something happening to a man, the women be like, well, what'd he do? They say the same thing to men that that people used to say about where the police choked out a unarmed black person or something. And then the All Lives Matter crowd would come in and say, well, what did he do? Let me see the whole video. You know? So people want selective empathy and they want all of the empathy up front, but truthfully, empathy got to be earned at this point. You know. Because it's very difficult to say what's being done in good faith and what isn't. But when you get an event today, like today, regardless of what was said, nobody deserves that level of violence. That violence on anybody else, especially to you people that's in this conversation, maybe not on this thread, that think he got what he got and he deserved it. While you got pedophiles in your family, and you ain't never put no work on them like that.
Hello.
A lot of y'all real hypocrites, man. A lot of y'all done hurt some kids, and you ain't never been handled the right way.
Right.
You know That man had a family.
Definitely.
And the other part of him, and I'm trying not to sound like a fan, but I looked at some of the stuff he's done. He was that young demographic of 16 and 25. Regardless of whatever his inspiration is, those dudes looked up to him as a father figure to some degree. He had a lot of influence with those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, this shit is dangerous. What just happened?
He was a figure to that group of people like Kevin Samuels was to the fatherless men.
Absolutely.
The men that grew up without their daddy, Kevin Samuels was it for them. He was that. Charlie Kirk was that same equivalent to those guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I just don't believe in practicing free speech and black people complaining about always being censored and then having these negative opinions about somebody that was doing the same thing that you was doing. Just don't pay him any attention. If you don't care about him, just don't pay him any attention. We don't mind our business very well. That if you was minding your business, you wouldn't be offended by most people.
Absolutely not. And what Robert is talking about here, let's not forget the husband and wife that were attacked and shot in Minnesota. See, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about far right, far left. That you have it on both sides. You know, Nancy Pelosi's husband kidnapped. You know, I mean, it's on both sides.
What about them Democratic the Republican lawmakers? No. You remember in Minnesota, somebody got.
That's what he's talking about. Yeah.
My bad. Okay. Yeah.
That's what he's talking about. So it's on the extremes are on both sides. Both sides. That's what makes it so dangerous. Vic, you brought up a great talking point when you said that this man in the demographic that he pretty much inspired, those males between 16 and 25 years old. What becomes of them? That they watch their hero today. And that graphic imagery, dog, we in dangerous times, y'all. And all I'm gonna say to everybody out there, man, look, be vigilant. And I know I probably shouldn't say this right now because, you know, gun violence is what caused this today, but be strapped up. Be ready because Democrats are out there protesting, and that's a soft target. We have to be honest about this. We have to be mature about this. You're out there protesting, you're a soft target for a person that has an AR-15 and has plenty of extended clips ready to go. Something might happen. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. That the Republicans are out here protesting, there may be some crazy lunatic on the far left that has that assault rifle, extendo clips ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So we're in dangerous times right now, y'all. What happened today, I'm not going to say it's the equivalent of what would have happened if Donald Trump would have went down. That would have been something. We would have been watching cities burn. Literally. We would have been watching that. We all need to thank God that man turned his head when he did and let that bullet hit. I don't give a shit how many of y'all think that was some type of conspiracy. Somebody took a shot at Donald Trump. It's documented, y'all. There's no conspiracy about it. It's documented. And Democrats ain't gonna lie about it. Yeah, it happened. But what I'm saying is, like, just imagine if that happened to Donald Trump, what happened to Charlie Kirk today. Now, Charlie Kirk it created a dangerous situation and a dangerous environment. So everybody needs to be vigilant. Everybody needs to be on their P's and Q's, man, to be honest with you, bro. And I hate to say it, man. It's just that the word just got a little bit more dangerous today, especially for politicians. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'll say this, right? Saying it just got a little bit more dangerous is true in terms of like bringing the conversation up. But if that person if Charlie Kirk had been an elected official, we would be calling this an act of terror. Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, because it puts fear in the populace. It makes everybody second guess. It makes other people concerned about what happens when they walk out of the door. And that whole conversation is rooted in it really is captured. It's really captured. I'm gonna get to that point in a second.
Yeah.
It's really captured by the same level of fear that Black people experienced during the crack epidemic, and then mass incarceration, and then the same level of fear that was experienced during AIDS when AIDS was new and everybody, you might get AIDS if you bump into the trash can the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Right. COVID was like an act of terror too. You know what I'm saying? When you start thinking about all of the psychological, you know what I'm saying, depths that it reaches. We had people thinking that cell phone towers was causing it was like 5G
COVID. Right.
We had to be careful what we said because they might get your YouTube channel banned because people have created all this misinformation.
Right. Absolutely.
We're not living. We went through a pandemic only to be on the other side of an infodemic. Misinformation is very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And we got people that are parents that can't even help their kids with their homework. We got people that are parents that make excuses as adults that they wouldn't allow their children to make. So when we're talking about what's dangerous outside and what could happen, we got to think about what we're doing to each other too, because the government ain't coming down from Capitol Hill to come play games with us. Let's just say that they are, right? We're still responsible for how we react to each other. It's on us, ultimately. Because again, if you sent your kid to school and you say, hey, these are the rules you got to operate by while you're at that school. And if they choose to operate outside those rules and y'all had already discussed it, and you say, hey, why did you disobey the rules at the school and what I told you? And your kid turn around and say, well, everybody else was doing, you go slap your kid lips off.
Absolutely.
That ain't what I told you. You're going to do what I told you to do. But let's go to this comment though.
Bruh.
Hate to say this. Let me read this. Hate to say this, but the white folks are looking at this like Dr. Martin Luther King. None of them was hooping and hollering then. I stay ready to have to not get ready. I do believe now we are going into a civil war. We will win We will win in the streets. Them Peckerwoods are not ready. You know, he captured everything that we kind of talked about before we
got on the mic. This is the MLK. This is that generation between 16 and 24 or 25. This is the MLK. It's that
for Kane.
Bruh. It is that fucking severe.
It really is, man. Like, and look, to go back to it, is I brought up the Kevin Samuels comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, up until the time that Kevin Samuels passed away, you could throw up Kevin Samuels, you could throw up Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, a long list of black men that was very inspirational from being revolutionaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Kevin Samuels had a greater social impact in our relationship structures in our households than people want to be honest about. And in 20 years, it's going to be even more. This is the equivalent. We're just seeing it unfold. So because we got to move past what we actually saw, we got to deal with the second and third order effects. You know what I'm saying?
Ron Mack, I need to speak on this. I need to interrupt you. Ron Mack, what you just said is crazy. It's fair to say the white folk feel like they're being pushed against the wall, and this is their survival response. Michael Moore, white brother, said the last time that Donald Trump was elected, he said that was the white man's last war cry. He said exactly what the fuck you just said. That was the white man's last war cry because they thought they were losing power as a whole. And they're not. The thing is that this is the way that I look at it. Even if you did lose power as a whole, the people which were oppressed under white rule aren't going to do what you did to them. They don't have that in them. Black people don't have that in them. Latino people don't have that in them. Arab people don't have, Arab people may have that in them, but Indian people may have that in them. But black people, the most minorities that you have over here, black and Latino, they just don't have that in them. Always been a peaceful people. Throw aside all the bullshit that you get about black on black crime, the significant little percent of black people that do harm against black people and white people, that very little percent, like I said, but your algorithm is telling you that it's happening every day to everybody, and it's not. But you are correct. This is that response, to white people feeling like they're being pushed against the wall. Like, oh, how dare you take my power away from me? For one thing, all white people don't have power. We have to agree on that. All white people don't have power. Is there white privilege? Of course there's white privilege, but all white people don't possess that white privilege.
Yeah,
let's understand that.
Privilege was for a few,
for a very few.
Everybody can't have privilege,
No.
That's why it's privilege.
Go read the book. Go read, Ron. If you've never read the book White Trash or White Slaves, go read those books and you will see the difference between classes of white people. Those higher classes of white people don't give a fuck about the lower class of white people. They don't give a fuck about them.
There's another book, The New Jim Crow, written by Michelle Alexander. She breaks
great book. Yeah, great book.
She talked about the Federalist movement and also the desire to step into the transatlantic slave trade and what they had to tell the land workers that was indentured servants, what they plan to do to all be on the same team. They called each other white.
Right.
They came up with white, for that reason.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Robert said, I teach mine. My grandbabies are black and I will defend mine in my Hispanic heritage, and you can bet your ass of mine will follow too. Right. Okay. So, the thing that I will say about the
is one thing, going on the offensive to oppress somebody else is completely different.
Right.
Defending means minding your business.
Right. Pretty much. You could say that. And to be honest with you, man, with the Hispanic people, the Latino people in America, I hope that your people have learned, because I have Latino friends. One of my very close friends that just passed away, Xavier Villalobos, he was a Puerto Rican, and he gave me a deep knowledge of the Latino culture and how I thought it was very united. And he said, no, it's divided as shit, just as much as everybody else. He said, there's a whole bunch of Latinos in my culture that think they're white.
They think they're white.
And yeah,
some Cubans that was like that. I knew some Cubans that I was like, oh yeah, those, you know, we don't deal with the darker skin, the moreños. You know
right. So at the end of the day, man, like I'm kind of like, okay, I think you guys are learning your lesson. Like, yeah, you ain't white. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this wakes you up. You know, hopefully it wakes you up, and one day black and brown can come together and stop being at each other's necks all the damn time and shit. Because to be honest with you, I got a Latino neighbor next door. I got a Latino neighbor across the street, and I love him dearly. You know, so at the end of the day, like it should be like that. But hopefully this right here, what you're seeing, will definitely wake you up. You know, what did you say? We're not the deported type kinfolk, right? So I mean, you know, so and that's the division right there. You know, that's the division. That's when all of us saw the division, was like, damn, dog, y'all okay with your people getting, you know, racially profiled and tossed out the damn country like that?
Look at Wesley Brown comment. Go to that real quick.
What did he say? He said, I know you guys are live, so just to update you, the suspect was interrogated, cleared, and released. They don't have, oh shit.
I told you they ain't got nobody. That was a person of interest.
Oh shit.
They got nothing, bro. Like I'm telling you.
Oh shit.
Whoever did this is out the country. Ticket was bought. Gone. Look, damn. This is much more complex than what we think it is. Okay. I'm not completely ready to say what we don't know anything, man. You got no idea.
Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. We got to definitely do that. Be careful.
None of y'all know nothing. Be careful. Like you. Be careful. You done seen the president and his right-wing influencer get tried, and one successfully, 1-1.
And they don't have a suspect, bro.
That's
you got 48 hours to figure this out.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to talk on the phone about it. Like straight up. Like this is a very unique, which goes back to now that they don't have a suspect. Why Charlie Kirk? Who benefits by knocking off Charlie Kirk?
That's the question at hand.
Who? If somebody can tell me that, see, that right there is going to take you all the way around the rabbit hole, and it's just too many. It's just too many elements that's happening.
And unfortunately, because it's in the air like this, and they don't have any suspect, anybody to blame this on, this is going to be directed to the Democratic Party automatically. It's not just me saying that out of my mouth, people. It's just what is.
Well, and here's the thing. Let's just say it ain't got nothing to do with somebody from the left or somebody from the right. What if it's somebody else playing around and making it look like that? Because it's how divided everybody is.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit the orange man either. He already in office, so his approval rate could be trashed the rest of the year.
He can't run no more anyway, right?
No more. So like, nah.
Yeah, look, like, Ron Mack said, I got an idea, but I ain't putting it out there. Right.
See? Got real when they said there ain't no suspects. Not just I said they ain't got no suspects. They got nobody.
You see, that's why I asked you that question at the beginning of the podcast, because I said, what is the difference between person of interest and suspect? You said suspect was somebody that they're going to charge, whereas a person of interest is like, okay, it's just somebody I'm going to question. Like, yeah, I'm just interviewing you. What do you know about this right here? So the fact that they don't have a suspect, they don't even have a person of interest at this point,
bro,
and we're all just sitting around waiting for, bro, this is going to get fucking crazy. Can y'all? I will say this for all of you that doom scroll on your phones. Be careful of your algorithm. Make sure you clean your algorithm. Because things are going to be put out here in the next weeks that are going to really mess with your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have that suspect, you know. So
We don't know nothing, bro. We don't know nothing.
we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. So we're gonna end on that, people.
This is the wrong time. Look, this is the wrong time to just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Because when you start making stuff up, you start putting it out there, you're putting it in front of dumb people. Okay.
Mhm.
Like social media is like this right here, bro. And before we go, I want to make this analogy.
Mhm.
Social media is the adult table, and the kids are sitting at it with the adults, interrupting the adults from talking.
Right.
Me and you, we talking about what we saw on the news or whatever's happening in the market. And here come little Johnny want to do a flip. You know what I'm saying? Across the table. So we're at a significant tipping point, just like Wesley's saying right now. You know, I couldn't even talk to you the way I wanted to talk to you earlier, you know what I'm saying, when this went down. But I knew we'd get to it tonight, you know what I'm saying, as far as this topic is concerned. But people, be careful with who you talk to and where you talk to them and what you talk to them about. Be very comfortable with saying, I don't have enough information to have an opinion on that topic. That is a flex now. That's how far we are from reality, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out here making nothing else up, man. Quit and check your sources before you repost something.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to see a lot of
Absolutely.
misinformation come out here. It's coming. It's already here. But
yeah. And I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be on it tonight. So, and to end that, man, I love how you just ended that, Vic. For the people who chimed in today, man, like I said, there's so many comments that came in, so many interactions that came in that I could not keep up with them. And I'm a hell of a producer, and I just could not keep up with all that. And you guys definitely chimed in. I see that you were definitely engaged in this. I do like the fact that people are engaged in politics and engaged in everyday events, and we're not just out here talking about stupid shit like. Nothing wrong with talking about sports or anything like that, but talking about important issues and things that can definitely change the landscape of our life and how we're living. Because, like I said, by today's actions, things just got a lot more dangerous. And by what Wesley Brown just announced, and he kind of shut down the show with that, the fact of saying, "Hey, they just released this cat. They don't have anybody."
I told you. I said at the beginning of the show, I said they got nothing.
Shit, this is crazy. So, dog, it's gonna go everywhere from here. But I just wanted to go ahead and thank you guys for chiming in. When we do come in, man, we usually come in anywhere between Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, not Fridays now because we all watching football or whatever, high school football. Saturday, not really. Sunday, not really because of football. But Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, possibly 9:00 p.m. somewhere around that area. That's when we're going to be on, man. Hey, come back and engage with us. And like I said, if you guys get tired of typing on your damn phone, say, hey, Kev, Vic, send me a link. Send you a link, get it on your phone. You can talk from your phone, man, and hey, we can have that dialogue.
Hey, and next time when we do this, if you don't want to get on camera, you want to call in, hey, leave a 1 in the chat if you want to call in. And
yeah, you do got that too, right?
I got the ability to take the phone call now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me know if y'all be interested in making a small donation so you can call in and get your voice heard. Because some of y'all don't want to be on camera, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
You got a solution for that, though.
Hey, Robert, man, I appreciate that, man. Yes, sir. I'm for what you're speaking. I subscribe. Hey, I appreciate that. I don't know who you subscribed to. I don't know if it was me or Vic. It don't matter. But anyway, I just want to go ahead and thank you for that. And for the people who have never been here, who've never watched us, we want to go ahead and thank you. And we're going to go ahead and chime out. Vic, you got anything else to say, bro?
No, just check the link. Rob just asked, do I get a link for subscribing? There it is. Just put my link in the chat for the Accountable Masculinity University channel on YouTube. And man, I look forward to engaging with you guys there. Shout out to Cat for bringing me on. You know what I'm saying? And it's all love, brother. Hey, we gotta stay tapped into this, and you know what I'm saying. We're gonna definitely get the feedback from the audience. You guys let me know if you're interested in calling in the show, and we can work in, you know what I'm saying, some of y'all commentary, you know what I'm saying, get y'all on the channel.
Hey, and we're checking out from the Big Cav Show. Hey, be safe, be vigilant, and love one another, man. That's all we can do. Y'all have a good one. Peace.